Now, it seems that we do increasingly like to be beside the seaside. Figures show that business is booming at coastal resorts across the country, with an increasing number of us choosing a staycation rather than venturing abroad. Well, from Worthing, Fraser Maud reports now.
Sarah Jerome may not realise it, but by taking her mum Janet and son Noah on holiday to Worthing, she's helping fuel a resurgence for Britain's seaside resorts. Her 3-day staycation means no flights, no hassle, and a healthy dose of nostalgia.
What's brought you to Worthing?
The sea, the pier, and some just good old-fashioned English seaside fun.
It's nice to go abroad, but I think you can't beat your own country and your own seaside place. Good old, I do like the British seaside.
Visit England says the first quarter of 2015 shows year-on-year visitor numbers are up by 12%. In Scotland, it's 15%. The hoteliers are cautiously optimistic, but that's backed up by a healthy increase in advance bookings.
We've seen an upsurge from really the start of the year, but growing and picking up pace as we've come into the summer here. We've seen growth that we haven't seen in a good number of years, especially in July and coming forward into August and September.
Put one hand on top, another hand halfway down.
Worthing has the added advantage of a recent upsurge in water sports. It's become a magnet for paddleboarders and wind and kite surfers, which helps the resort attract younger tourists.
80% of my business is people coming from outside area to come to the coast, to come to do things that are super fun on the water. As far as people coming here on holiday, you know, it's a great resort. The hotels are cheap and they're really nice and modern as well, which Worthing could always be a little bit of a grey town in the past, but now Bowls has sort of moved on. It's getting more friendly.
With security concerns now hanging over popular foreign resorts, the government is still advising holidaymakers to leave Tunisia. And economic uncertainty in parts of Europe, the staycation is becoming more attractive. But there's also a belief that Britain's coastal revival is being driven by a more competitive product.
Perhaps some destinations that rested on their laurels for a little bit too long now really upping their game and giving people a reason to come and visit, as opposed to people saying, well, we can't be bothered with something else, we'll go there. Actually, it's giving people a really good reason to come and visit us. And here in Worthing, I think, yeah, we've really done that.
One thing Britain can't guarantee, of course, is weather like this. But if there are enough sunny days this summer, then our British coastal resorts could be eyeing up their best season for a decade. There's still an element of days gone by in visiting the seaside, but if the investment and improvements continue and the weather holds, Britain's coastal resorts could be looking at a much brighter future. Fraser Maud, Sky News, Worthing.
Well, let's take you to arrival to Worthing now. Weston-super-Mare and tourism consultant Debbie Matthews from Love Weston. She joins us now. Good morning to you. And that's the problem there. We saw in Fraser Moore's piece. The weather. We don't always have the weather. It's not consistent.
No, that's right, and that's why here in Weston we try and offer as much variety as possible. Obviously, we do love the sunshine and that brings flocks of people to our seaside, but what we try to do with Love Weston is basically try and say we have more to offer here than our seaside. We have indoor attractions, we are in an excellent location for exploring other parts of Somerset and into cities such as Bath and Bristol.
And hand on heart, do you think you could really compete with the foreign destinations, with the assured sunshine, the different culture, etc.?
I think that in a way the economy gave Britain as a whole an opportunity to showcase the British seaside resort again, and I think that now people have been coming here. You know, we have to make sure that we keep that coming. We as tourism professionals and as any tourism businesses need to make sure that, you know, we're keeping our standards high, and that, you know, as long as we may not be able to offer the weather, but as long as we can consistently offer, you know, good quality and good product, then there is no reason I see why we cannot, you know, keep the staycation going.
So what else do you think you need to do to compete comfortably?
I just think we mustn't take our finger off the pulse now. We've got these people coming here. We have to look for opportunities maybe, you know, outside of the box as well. You know, a great example is we've got the Rugby World Cup coming to England this year. You know, here in Weston-super-Mare, we're not part of it, but we're centrally located to Cardiff, Exeter and Gloucester. So, we've been working closely with Visit England to try and promote that. So I think, you know, that there are ways we compete, but it is, you know, from a tourism point of view, it's ways of looking outside the box now and really trying to keep people coming in.
And what about in terms of cost? Because although we're sort of headlining the staycation, it can be quite pricey to stay at home. If you're not offering sort of really discounted holidays, people might think, well, if I'm going to spend that amount, I might as well go abroad.
Absolutely, and that is in a sense true. You know, certainly I myself offer, you know, our members and our businesses in Weston-super-Mare sort of regular updates and regular sort of workshops on making sure that they are checking out the competition and, you know, being as competitive as they can. Obviously, you know, they need to make money to be able to reinvest and keep up our quality, so you always have to bear that underlying issue in mind. But, you know, we are very competitive here, and we hope that, you know, the ease of a holiday in the UK, especially if you're, you know, you've got young family, you know, there are lots of benefits as well, you know, as well as obviously the cost factor.
Debbie, I'm going to set you a challenge now. We can see the beach behind you. I want you to sell that to us as opposed to a white sandy Caribbean beach.
Oh.
Go, off you go.
Yeah, well, our beaches, you know, we've got miles of sand here. It's flat, it's clean sand. We've got a beautiful, fairly new promenade. We have, you know, all the traditional things one would find at the seaside. We've got donkey rides, we've got our pier that you can see in the background. We have a host of fantastic events on this beach throughout the whole of the year to attract people. You know, we had big events last night with Corona Sunsets. We had a superb air festival. We've got CBeebies coming to the beach in the summer holidays as well. So, you know, it's a good beach, and we've got a lot to offer here.
Debbie, sold. Well done. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Debbie Matthews there. Thank you.
Thank you.